What's going on, everybody? It's the Fulcrum Report. Fulcrum Report 36 on the comic experience. What's going on?
Wait, I think it's a message. I can understand it. It says, Alan.
What's going on, everybody? Before we get started, if you guys wouldn't mind, please drop in a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. The comic experience is amazing. We come out with dubs every other week, I guess. We have the Fulcrum Report podcast, which is our pop culture podcast that we do every week. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the bell notification so you know when our videos pop up into your notification tray. And yeah, comment below. Let's get going. We're gonna talk some DC today. Shazam just came out. We got the really interesting Joker trailer we're gonna talk about, and then also like the current state of the DC universe. We don't know what the hell's going on because it appears that all the Suicide Squad actors are returning, so it's not so much a reboot, but possibly like a light. I don't know. Who knows? We're gonna talk about it. And then also, I'm gonna real quick mention the Star Wars Phantom Menace fan event that's coming up, the 20th anniversary fan event at Old World Huntington Beach. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Harrison did the artwork for it. It was amazing. It's gonna be fun in games. We're gonna do like a fun improv Fulcrum type deal. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give out some prizes, costume contest. Also, I'm gonna show a couple of voice dubs there, correlating with the Phantom Menace. So we're gonna get a Qui-Gon voice dub and the Darth Maul voice dub live. So that'll be super rad. And then maybe I could even get the Fulcrum boys to give everybody a shout out one day. And we're gonna watch Phantom Menace together. It's gonna be awesome, and I can't wait. So like I said, everybody, May 17th, it's going to be a free event. There's just food and drinks. And I think we're even going to get toy shop there. And there's going to be collectibles and stuff like that. So check it out. We're going to have a link in the description if I have that up by then. But what do I say next? I am your host, Sebastian. You can follow me on Instagram and the Twitter at Revan Winter Soldier. The lovely voice over there was Gilbert the Gilbs Gilb. What's going on, Gilbert?
I watch from the shadows. I am the Gilbs.
What's going on, guys? I'm glad to be back.
I really liked that intro dialogue.
Yeah, I figured Harrison always sets the bar with doing weird ones. I figured I needed to do something.
Thank you, Gilbert, for showing back up. It's always
Absolutely,
awesome having
man.
you.
Always fun.
Cool. We're going to shoot it over to the UK, the other side of the world. I don't know if it's 100% the other side of the world. Just kind of adjacent to us, but it's an orange.
It's so unnecessarily difficult.
No, I know, on purpose, of course. We have our lovely Machinima Man Marshall. What's going on, Machinima Man?
Hello, it is I. I have returned for episode 36, and I have a confession today that might upset the nerd community.
Oh?
I was roped into seeing Pet Sematary instead of Shazam this weekend. Yeah, so...
Well, I hope that was
I'm
worth
sorry.
it.
I want you out of this Discord right now.
It so wasn't.
After you very clearly stated last week that you weren't going to see horror movies anymore.
I know. I'm so easily persuaded. I need to work on that.
In Marshall's defense, Pet Sematary, the old Pet Sematary, is a classic. Like, if you're gonna go see a horror movie, go see that.
But you have a seat on the, you're a board member on the Fulcrum Report, sir.
And more than that, he didn't go see the old one. If it was the old one, I would forgive it. But
yeah,
that's like seeing the new It. I'm like, who cares?
That's also been put on the list, so I'll probably have to endure that one sometime soon as well.
We're gonna shoot it over to our other buddy in the HK UK. We have
Harrison's in Hong Kong.
Yep. We have Crazy Uncle Harrison. Welcome back, Crazy Uncle Harrison.
Sometimes dead is better.
Well put. If y'all hadn't know, I died last week, and this is the dead me, and I should have stayed dead.
Yeah, funnily enough, Sebastian has not been changed very much by being touched by the Wendigo.
Just slightly different.
I buried him in the pet cemetery and he came back. But he's not the same.
I feel so. Stop alienating me. I can't make any references. I haven't seen the movie. But, so, if you guys wouldn't mind checking out our Patreon, we got some real cool stuff going on. Gilbert, you want to let them know what they can expect with Patreon?
Absolutely. The three main tiers are Fulcrum Follower, Fulcrum Fan, and then Fulcrum Faithful. And in order, it'll get you a thank you at the end of our videos. It'll get you access to our Discord channel. So if you ever want to see the weird stuff that we talk about in here or all the gifts that we share, then by all means, you're welcome to come in. And then the last thing is for the Fulcrum Faithful, you get a uncensored audio exclusively on Patreon. So, and we already have a bunch of stuff on there. Like if you want to hear some of the worst stuff that can't make it on the show on YouTube, then come on over and subscribe to our Patreon and go ahead and check it out. Yeah, and then the last one would be our sponsorship channel or our sponsorship tier. And if you have a service, a channel, a website, whatever, then go ahead and subscribe to us on that one, and we will do an ad read every single video for you.
And in any impression you want.
and that's gonna be it for me.
Cool. Thank you, sir. We're gonna go over to our quiz question this week. How about that Joker trailer, yo? Mm-hmm. This is our second. Well, who knows? We could see Batman show up, or I heard some people saying that Bruce Wayne. We got to see Lil Bruce Wayne, Lil Wayne, in the trailer.
Please. Doesn't even have to be Batman, just a Bruce Wayne.
Right, but just for the sake of upsetting Gilbert, the Fulcrum quiz question this week, I want you guys to come up with a villain origin movie that would normally be crucial to showcase the superhero, but we're just going to exclude him this time. And Joker and Venom, we're going to leave the Batman universe and the Spider-Man universe off the table. Those ones aren't. All right. But anything else you guys can... Yeah, so give me a villain movie without the superhero. You're going to pitch
All right, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens.
That is a good one.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what we get. But we're going to shoot it off to our first topic. Gilbert, you didn't get a chance to check out Shazam, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I missed my opportunity yesterday.
Oh, I spent my money. It's totally cool. I spent my money on all the wrong things this week, so I definitely got what I deserved at the end of this week. I'm like raiding my cabinets for ramen.
The student diet.
Yep. So I could read my comic books and watch my movies. But anyways, I went and saw Shazam, and I think it was kind of, the malnourishment was worth it. I really dug the movie, and then Harrison also went and checked it out. He also dug the movie.
Yes.
Machinima Man was a traitor, so you're out of this conversation.
I know.
But you can ask a couple questions. We're going to talk real quick about Shazam. I really dug it. What did you think, Harrison?
I loved it. Loved this movie.
What were the highest highs for you? What did you really like about this? What set it apart from any other? Because you said on Twitter that this was your favorite, yeah?
Yeah. This so far has been my favorite DC movie, and I'm going bold and saying my favorite DC movie ever. Not just like the current cinematic universe or whatever. I just loved this. Most of the DC movies have never really quite hit home for me. We had a whole conversation about Dark Knight. Dark Knight is an amazing movie. I'm never going to take that away from it. But this is just a DC movie that I went in and I was happy all the way through it. It's so fun. It feels like an instant classic, and that's the thing that people throw around a lot. But it felt like an old movie. If this movie had been released in 1996, I would have rented it on VHS so much my mum would have banned it from the house.
No, you're so right about that. One of the things about this movie was that just for the majority, everything was effortlessly perfect. Just all the lines, no cringe for the most part. Zachary, I'll just say the villain was that I feel like maybe that's where you could get a tad cringe. But other than that, there was, the children actors were amazing too. Every single one of them, and the parents, and it just seemed to just really just be going on, 10 the entire time.
Yeah, the kids are a huge thing to talk about in this because, like, it's a movie that was like, you can have funny children characters who aren't annoying. Like, they're not obnoxious, they're not like, I'm Zadie and Mackie, but they're really funny. Like, there's one little girl in particular who's, like, really funny, but isn't annoying, and it's amazing. Yeah, and you talk about the villain being, like, the cringy thing. The villain's, like, one of my favourite bits, because, like, just to... Like,
I dug him to a point, and like I said, we'll get to that, but I liked him a lot to a point where I was like, all right, you just kind of became the CGI bad guy of the thing again.
Yeah, maybe, but he's so brutal. Like, there's, like... Just that's one of the things I love about this movie as well, is that, like, I'm going to tell you now, it's basically a kids movie. Like, so if you're out there listening and you are under 12 or you have a child under 12, go see that movie with that kid. Take that kid, like, just because it'll be awesome. This is like a movie that kids will love and kids should see. But as well, it's violent in the best way.
Yeah, because in the boardroom scene, and no spoilers here just as yet, but like the boardroom scene, like they were all horror on that for sure.
Yeah, like it's got that thing where like it's got a low rating because there's no blood in it, but the villain means business. Like there is no kind of, how like the Marvel villains at the moment have this thing where they largely have a grand plan. And, the actual, like, violence they inflict tends to be kind of a secondary thing. It's all actually about their big grand scheme that's going to be at the end of the movie.
Oh, that's because Marvel wants female girls to be obsessed with the villains. And in love with them. Shout out to Loki.
Yeah. So, like, even characters like Ultron. Ultron did some, kind of like, I'm going to mess you up sort of things, but... This guy is just, he doesn't have, like, a grand scheme, if that's not too much of a spoiler. He's there to just mess people up, and it's great. And it doesn't hold back. He just messes people up.
Yeah, and it's cool. And something like his 7 deadly sin powers. That's something that wasn't translated too well, and it's not a spoiler, like if you know the comics and stuff. But like it's pretty neat. He has this like unique ability of releasing demons out of his body, and I don't know. And what did you think about all that, Harrison?
They're really cool. I really like them. Yeah. Because like they look like the dogs from Ghostbusters. So like they're just like
slash also something like from Lord of the Rings almost kind of too.
I suppose there's one that looks like a Pokemon, and you'll know it when you see it. But they're really cool. And like I think that's one of the things that's great about this movie. Actually, the design's really good. So the demons look like demons. They're kind of horrific. They are definitely CGI. I think there might be some practical ties, but it's a lot of CGI. But it's really good looking CGI. Like there was one moment where I was really scared that it was going to be like I'm going to get this wrong. What's the giant orange yellow cloud from Green Lantern?
Parallax, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, I was really worried that we were going to have a parallax moment. There's that one bit where like there is a villain, there's a bad guy thing that is just like a cloud, and I was like, oh god, don't make that this movie.
Yes, I thought that was gonna happen. Yeah, because basically, and that's not so much of a spoiler, but to like release the demons from his body, a cloud comes out of him at first, and I thought he was just gonna have sand powers, like Apocalypse from X-Men, or like you're saying, another cloud villain like Parallax or Galactus, and I was like, oh no, not again. And they turn into demons, and it's really bitchin', actually.
Yeah, so it's... Yeah. I think one of the things that gets me as well is that even though this is a modern movie, and it feels really timeless. And stuff with the villains, like, this could have been done back in the 90s. Like, those demons could have been people in rubber suits. And it still would have been cool back then, it would have been like a Ninja Turtles, like the old school
with the
Ninja Turtles
slimy, kind of sweaty, wet-looking demon kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good.
Okay, cool. Let's move on a little bit. Gilbert, you got any questions for us for the?
Yeah, I have 2. Well, okay. and I don't know if this is really a spoiler. I don't think it is, but so is the bad guy? Is that Black Adam? Because the powers that you're describing on him, that's nothing I've ever seen in the comics or any of the video games or anything like that. So is it yes or no? Just you don't have to tell me who it actually is, but okay, no. And then the final thing, I guess, is how does this kind of fit into the greater DCEU, or does it? Is it like its own thing, or is it?
It's basically yes, it definitely fits into the DC to the extended universe in DC. They reference the characters that they mention. Superman and Batman are definitely around. They exist. And like there's one character who's obsessed with superheroes and is like, yeah, I know everything about Superman, I know everything about Batman.
He's basically me. It's a little kid version of me.
yeah, it really is. If you gave Sebastian a crutch, we'd just have that guy. But like, there is this one moment, right? There's this one moment which I feel is like the biggest like screw you to the rest of the DC movies ever. There is a kid who's like, he's got a Superman toy in one hand and a Batman toy in the other, and he's just smashing them together. Like, yeah. And then he sees Captain Marvel / Shazam out of a window and just immediately drops Batman and Superman. And I was like, yes! That's exactly what these movies are like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. See, okay.
Kind of sounds like the Deadpool of the DC universe in a way, just mucking the rest of them.
Kind of, but like in a really non-cringy way too. It was perfect. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you a quick question, Harrison. Speaking with continuity, like the whole DC universe, there is a toy store, that they go through. They have that little bit.
Did you notice that on the shelf? I noticed DC branding. Did you actually see?
Yeah. Okay. So what's going on? Does the DC universe exist within the DC universe, or what the hell?
I don't know. It's really weird because like there were some cool moments, like how in this movie it establishes that like this is like the real world. So all the superheroes have merch. So like the character who loves superheroes wears T-shirts with their logos on. Like he's wearing an Aquaman shirt.
Don't forget, Marvel did that a little bit with like some Marvel merchandise in some of the shows, and I don't know if they did it with the movie.
Like Spider-Man and like
so a little bit. So I guess we can but continue with your thought on that.
But like, and they do some weird stuff. Like my favorite bit about it, I think, is that it's in the trailers. I think there's a bit where Billy Batson is like running through, and he picks up a Batman doll, like one that exists and is real, but it's like based on the Batman animated series.
Yes,
like the 90s one, and whips it at a guy. And I was like, so in this universe, there is a real, genuine Batman. But the people who make the toys of that real Batman didn't bother making it look like the real Batman. They made it look like a fake version.
Why did they sell Batman toys if Batman murders people and sends them to jail to be murdered?
I mean, I don't want to get political, but they're
because money.
No, just no. But he was. It's very confused. I wanted. Okay, so you did mention that too, and then also because I'm a huge fan of this logo. My very favorite Superman logo is the new 52 logo. It's just a bit more like lightning strike looking. And the kid has the backpack with that logo on it. So like in my head also, I'm like, not only did I point it out, because I'm like, oh, my favorite logo. But I'm like, does the new 52 exist in this universe also? What's happening?
I don't know. I mean,
just fun little nitpicks.
Yeah, I mean, because you get that with like Spider-Man: Homecoming when they've got the Avengers masks on, and it's that version of Thor that has never existed in the Marvel universe. Like,
yeah.
Like with no beard and with a winged helmet, and it's like, that doesn't make any sense.
I never understood this, but
alien guns and flying suits, and that's the part that doesn't make sense to you guys.
A thing I also want to talk about real quick, Harrison, was I really thought those scenes where they were testing his powers were like, they could have been cringe, and I've seen them 100 times in the trailer, but like so original for like a superhero movie, something that you would totally have to do if you like instantly became a hero and about all these superheroes. You're going through this checklist to like, but these fun little tests to figure out like what powers he had. What did you think about those scenes?
I love them. Like to the point where I think like the movie's going along and it has those scenes, and they were really fun. I dug it, and then like the movie decided, okay, we've got to do the plot now, and I was upset. I was like, no, I could have just had a whole movie of this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then one thing I did want to mention is I felt like the movie was just a teensy long. I liked the momentum that was going, and I was enjoying it the whole time. But I felt like by the fight scene, which is really odd for me too, to feel like by the fight scene I'm getting a little tired out and like ready for it to almost be over. Just because I'm like, okay, you guys, how many times can you guys punch each other in the face before it's like, you know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And like the movie figures out how to win the fight really early on, and just doesn't do it for ages.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what created that issue too.
Yeah, the final fight scene does go on for too long. It's only by like a few minutes, but it does go on a bit longer than it should.
Which is really weird because I remember as a kid, I'm like, oh, this movie's excellent. I don't care if it's 5 hours. But now, like, I'm understanding. I'm like, okay, you can have an excellent movie, but to keep like a momentum, I guess, and like that excitement going. And, you know, not to feel exhausted by the end of it. I guess it would be nice for it to be a tad shorter.
The movie, like, with the ending, and I won't give you any details, but, like, it's there are lots of times when you go, and now this is how we're going to beat the bad guy. But then it does, you know, it goes to, like, what feels like the very final scene, and then it goes, no, we're going to go back and fight for a while. Are we going to finish
like
it? Are we going to finish
Last Jedi,
it?
almost.
No. Yeah.
Remember how like Last Jedi,
nowhere
the
near
movie
that extent.
Last Jedi feels, not like Last Jedi, but Last Jedi feels like it's gonna end right with right after Snoke and that whole thing, and the thing gets blown up and they're going down to Crate. That feels like that's where the movie should end, and then the movie continues to go for another 40 minutes. It did not feel like that, but it did feel like by the fight, and I think you pointed out perfect. They found the villain's weakness, and then they don't do it till like, you know, maybe 30 minutes later or something. I mean, maybe it's 20 minutes, but like it feels long, so like it was long.
There's a really weird moment where like basically Billy Batson sees what the villain's weakness is, and then like doesn't do anything about it until someone else explains it to him 20 minutes later. It's like, it's really weird. And it's like, but like the movie lets you know that he knows. It's really strange. But anyway.
So, Machinima Man, did you have any questions for Harrison? Because I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, like from the trailers, when you see them like flying through the air, kind of fighting, it reminded me a bit of Man of Steel. Just wondering, like, if the fight scenes are kind of Man of Steel level of destruction with the buildings and stuff like that.
No.
No.
They are really restrained on this one, with like the building destroying. The worst thing they do is there is a big fight in a Christmas fair. Oh yeah, and this movie's set at Christmas, by the way. Like, no one's mentions that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
You forget that it's set at Christmas for, like, most of the movie. But every now and then, Santa shows up. But, they go to a Christmas fair and they wreck a Ferris wheel. And, like, that's kind of the extent. There's a few broken windows. But it's not like Man of Steel where, you know, like, they're toppling skyscrapers and...
not giving a shit about any civilians.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny too because they had to go backwards. I remember that wasn't necessarily. I don't think that was actually going to be a plot of Batman versus Superman necessarily, but the fan backlash of Superman destroyed the whole city. He didn't care about nothing. And then they like kind of. I don't know if they wrote that into Batman versus Superman, and then from then on out, they've been very careful not to have any major destructive fight scenes with civilian casualties, even with Justice League. That thing happened out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah, third world countries, they don't matter.
There was nobody there. It was just some like there was like one family there. I remember Superman like evacuating an entire building, but like I don't remember. Batman was like blowing through abandoned buildings. I didn't know there was people there.
Yeah, because Batman apparently doesn't care about anyone in this universe. Just killing dudes left
Zack
and right.
Snyder. Do you guys hear about Zack Snyder? He's like, you'd be an idiot not to think Batman's a murderer or something. What did he say?
Zack Snyder can go suck a big fat.
For real. I do have two nitpicks. This is my final nitpicks, and we're done. And this is actually for the whole. it's funny because they keep doing things in each DC Universe movie, and I'm hoping that maybe they'll stop doing it. But now it's become an entire DC Universe problem, and I'm really crossing your fingers. You guys agree with me on I'm not psycho. But the way that they like to explain expedition or backstory or back history in all these movies are through holograms. You know, you have Superman with the whole like pegboard thing, and then you have, I think Aquaman does like a holographic, you know.
Oh yeah,
exposition
they have the water hologram things.
And then in this one, the Shazam wizard has the magic hologram, and like literally every single movie has this like hologram exposition. Does DC not know how to tell backstory in any other way? Other than having like a Zack Snyder backstory, or like, I don't know, it's just getting tiring. It's like literally you get to the point of the movie now where it's like, okay, here's the scene, here's the iconic DC hologram exposition scene. That for me is getting a bit old now, and I wish that they can get a tad creative on it, and that's just me being the comment section of the internet. Did you feel that at all, Harrison?
No, to be honest.
Okay.
No,
It just seemed, I don't know, it seemed a bit redundant for me, and maybe it's just because I like watch these guys over and over again too. But like,
I think that's more. It's probably because I haven't really watched them in that way at all. But also, I actually have to say, I think the exposition in this is pretty well done because it's really short. They just get through stuff, and they don't weigh you down with like, well, we're going to spend half an hour setting this up. They do it like 3 lines and it's done.
And that's where you get your Black Adam reference too, by the way, just for all those, if you want to keep an eye out for that. Okay, we'll drop a little time marker, Gilbert, you'll figure it out, but we'll drop a time marker if you want to go past this, because I do want to mention one thing that's a mild spoiler. But here, let's just talk about that real quick.
Just say it for sake.
Okay, because y'all did it. Okay, let's do this, Harrison. What that end credit scene.
Oh, okay, right.
I feel like I'm all down for the comic bookiness, but you need to be a little. I don't know if you could just throw a general audience into that end credit scene.
Well, go ahead. I know nothing about this character.
I didn't know anything about that either, yo. That was the first time ever in a superhero movie I was like, I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Please explain to us what the end credit scene is, by the way, without like giving away too much spoiler. But
so the bad guy gets beaten, and then he is like in a prison cell, obsessing over like how he's gonna get his powers back and get his revenge, and then a voice starts talking to him, and that voice is a caterpillar.
A caterpillar with like this voice modulator that lights up when he talks. He has like goggles on. He has like a really ominous voice too. He's like, we're gonna rule the world.
A caterpillar.
Join my forces. They show him a couple times throughout the movie, and I wasn't sure. I thought it was like a little Easter egg. But then like straight up, I hear this voice at the end, and then I thought maybe that it was like Lex Luthor recruiting somebody. I thought that was a part of the. Because that's another thing that I want to say is with these end credit scenes now, this is the third end credit scene where I feel like DC's not being extremely original. It's always bad guy telling another bad guy, hey, we have a team and let's go attack these other guys. Are you ready? You know, because you get the end credit scene with Justice League, which I totally dug. But then you get the end credit scene with Aquaman, and it's like a Black Manta and a scientist, and it's, oh, you don't like Aquaman? I don't like Aquaman. Let's form a team. Bam, bam, bam. And then you have the same kind of thing where it's like, I'm this evil caterpillar. You don't like Shazam? I don't like Shazam. Let's form a team. Bam, bam, bam. And it's like literally, I don't know. It's getting a bit redundant for these. His name is Mr. Mind, by the way. Mr. Mind.
This is just ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous.
It's kind of the only...
That is the point. I think is very much the thing.
Which I'm totally okay with, yes. But like I said, for a general audience, when I'm trying to get my, my family member who is like, has their arms crossed, superhero movies are stupid. I sit him down, have him watch Shazam, the whole movie's great, and then, make him wait through the, and then that happens. So they're like, what the fuck?
But the thing is, this movie, I think, is less stupid than Batman versus Superman.
No, I
Like-
100%
like,
agree
it
with you.
is-
I just you need to warm people up for that talking caterpillar, yo. I was I was not ready for that guy.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, for people who aren't like hardcore fans of DC, Marvel, that kind of stuff, like superheroes, you might just want to walk them out of the theater after the credits start rolling, because that might throw people off.
I think, just honest to God, just go see it. Like, that's literally, I love the scene too, don't get me wrong, because like Harrison said, I think it was like purposely goofy and it totally matched with the whole movie. Let's go full pedal to the metal on this weird goofiness. Yeah, let's have the talking caterpillar. I'm down. But it was a bit jarring.
I think like it's
I was like,
it's
whoa!
no different than it's no different than Howard the Duck at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
similar to
weird.
that, but like it's just a tad more jarring. Because Guardians of the Galaxy was just like so weird the entire time, and then like this movie had no inkling of talking caterpillars. Like I said, I don't know. Just be lucky I broke the ice. I think you all would have been, especially Gilbert. I felt would have been like, what? But now that I broke the ice for you, maybe it'll be a tad softer.
All right.
Harrison, you have any final thoughts on Shazam? What was your out of 5 stars rating?
I'm going to give it a 5.
Cool.
Because I think this is a great movie, and honestly, this is the best movie I've seen in 2019 so far. And I don't think that it's going to be very hard for a movie to be more fun than this one was for me. And I know that Endgame is around the corner. I know, but Endgame is there's gonna be some hard bits to Endgame.
Yeah, we need to bring tissues to that, like
Well, and it's gonna be
call
setting
my
up a bunch of
counselor.
stuff. There's so many characters. We're not going to get everything as satisfying. Those suits are already in there, and that's really a mark against them already. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I don't think that it, for me personally, very personal, I don't think it's going to beat Shazam for me. And I wasn't expecting Shazam to be as good as it was.
Wow.
I think you're right in fun and enjoyment level, or not enjoyment level. I think Endgame is going to be definitely fulfilled the need of that event comic, for that itch that we need. That's going to be our thick volume event comic movie of the year. We'll be fully satisfied. We got to see all the superheroes at once. It was awesome. Explosions up the who colors, effects, awesome. But Shazam, I think by the very end of it, will probably be the more one that I walked out of there with a better, smile. And I was like, yeah, that was really fun actually, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So let's get on to the Joker trailer, because I'm actually stoked to talk about something that's only. Go for it, Gilbert. Go for it. I haven't heard your voice. Go.
But yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. What the hell are you doing, man? What in what possible sense is that a good Joker? In any way, shape, or form? But from the laugh to the way he looks to the freaking, it looks like bad cosplay of the freaking Cesar Romero Joker from the '60s.
I'm gonna go ahead and 100% disagree with you.
You
on
would.
everything.
Bam.
And I was
Bam.
ready to hate this Joker. I was ready. I seen the set photos. I was cringed out. I was so afraid. I didn't want a Joker movie. I wanted.
And then
them
you
to
see him running
stop.
down a freaking alleyway, and suddenly, oh my God, I'm in love.
Yep. Pretty much. So what was it for you that just, I don't get it, is I guess my point, because it seems like the internet's actually okay with it too, and after a lot of doubt and not wanting a Joker movie.
It feels more like it's less of a Joker movie and more of a social commentary on mental illness, really. And fine, whatever. If you know what, the mentally ill they need help. I get that. Not everyone understands that. But that said, I'm like, dude, you're missing the point of Joker. It's not. It makes it seem like, oh, well, I just went crazy because life sucks, because society is a bad place and people are bad. I'm like...
No, and I totally see where you're coming from, but, but we have so much of the same superhero movies, because I do see rolling in my head, I'm going to see Marvel movies for the rest of my life, but how many times can we see the same 3-act structure, you know what I'm saying? And we fight the bad guy at the end.
Fine.
It's always going to be a bad guy that gets beat.
Yeah, I get that, but...
I don't know how this movie is going to end.
See, that's the thing there is that if you make a movie like that without like, and I understand that, yeah, it's kind of getting tired with the 3-act structure of like, you know, get your powers, find the bad guy, beat the bad guy. I get that, but with this, when you do a movie that has no like clear hero or clear villain, or really the villain has, or whatever, the protagonist has no clear goal, it kind of like, I don't know.
A good story, maybe.
Maybe, but then what? You know what? It's the Mass Effect 3 argument. What is a good story without a great ending?
I agreed. I don't know what this movie's about necessarily.
You watch your damn mouth, Gilbert.
So we're going to share the level a little bit too. Gilbert, I definitely want to hear more on you from this, but let's hear from Machinima Man. What are your thoughts on the Joker trailer? Yeah, go for it.
I like it. I've decided. I've thought about it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm actually.
And I am surprised. I'm surprised by myself. No, I think it's borrowing heavily from The Killing Joke by the looks of it. But the only problem I've got with it is I don't really know what the story's about. It just seems to be him going crazy in the trailer.
Yeah, and this is like the teaser
with no
trailer
real...
too, because like I'm trying to figure out an example. Normally for Marvel movies, like the first teaser trailer is boom, bam, splash, you know, sparks, and then, you know, the superhero in the suit, and then we get like the story trailer in the second guy, I guess. So like, do you think maybe?
Yeah,
that's
but
what...
like as you said, like there's only so many times we can see the same structured superhero movie, so I think this is going to be really different, and I think they are going to borrow very, very heavily from The Killing Joke. Which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I like The Killing Joke.
Yeah, I like The Killing Joke too. It was decent. I would even be down to see Red Hood, but I know they won't do that for me. But yeah, I definitely hear where you're coming from, Gilbert. But are you just not seeing what's in front?
I don't know, man. It just. Are
you not ready for that? Or did you not want a Joker movie at all? Or if there was a Joker movie that's coming out, what would you want out of that?
Yeah, if I'm going to get a Joker movie, I would want it to be something like, again, you don't even have to put Batman in it. Make it like kind of along the same lines as Suicide Squad in that it has Batman there for a few minutes, but he's not the main character. He's not even really like a part of the story. But like I want a Joker movie where he's already the Joker. I don't want a Joker origin story. I want a Joker movie where he's already the Joker and we just get like 2 hours of just sheer mayhem.
I thought I wanted that, but then like, and I thought I didn't want a Joker origin, but like, I don't know. I want to kind of see what happens with this guy. I'm curious. I'm curious now. Why did he crack? What made him to the point where he? And it's interesting too because they show a lot in the trailer yet so little. So what makes this guy go from like being bullied on a train to like literally causing mayhem? And he has supporters too. Apparently, there's like I don't know. What's going on?
Yeah, I think he'll be in The Killing Joke. Like he's a bit of a deadbeat. A bit of a loser.
Trying to make it
failing comedian. But then as soon as, he falls into that, was it acid, whatever it was, that turns him into the Joker, like, his confidence comes out and, he's funny and people start liking him. And, yeah, I think it's going to be a bit like that. And I think they show his mum in the trailer as well. So I think something's going to happen to her and he's just going to completely switch, just go full on crazy.
Yeah, and then like I said, it seems like he's pulling... typical like Joker shenanigans, doing something in a train station. He's on the run and his full Joker getup. Also, there was like I said, you see like in the trailer, there's like an image of like a huge mob or something, and some of them have Joker masks themselves or something. Like I don't know. It seems like he has supporters or people are. Also, like the Joker's out on stage. Are they presenting him on like a talk show, kind of like they did in The Dark Knight?
It could be laughing gas, like he's forcing them to laugh at him or something.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know what's going on, and it seems like for as much as I want to destroy it, it seems like there's room for very interesting commentary as well. Harrison, what are your thoughts on the Joker trailer?
I like the Joker trailer. I like the look of it, but to be fair, I think the reason I'm interested in it is because it doesn't look like a Joker movie at all. So I can totally understand why basically if you wanted a Joker movie, you've been let down here. And I was saying it before. I think that I think this is a movie that was never meant to be a Joker movie. I think that this was like a script written about like a sort of Silence of the Lambs style serial killer, and then someone was like, I can't sell this serial killer script, but if I put a comic book name on it.
Yeah, you've got a very good point there.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty spot on.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Yeah, that might be what the comic book industry movie needs, you know what I mean? Because then from then on out, who knows what Marvel can do with that after. And I'm not saying make psychological, documentaries about, but I'm saying, like, we don't maybe need a whole action movie now. Now we can do maybe a more personal story, with not so much a big final set piece ending, If it's good and it turns out well, and that this whole different take on a comic book movie is a success, because like I said, we really, even Logan, even though it treads different grounds, it's still a superhero movie at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So I'm really hoping it opens the door, if it does well, to seeing interesting different angles that you can do with superhero movies. And Harrison, you're saying that you think Marvel's going to do that?
Yeah, I think, because we're already seeing the other studios doing that a bit, of going, we're going to start doing comic book stuff that isn't just trying to be a Marvel movie, and I think Shazam is an example of that. And so I think Marvel, because they've been saying they're going to change things up after Endgame. The next phase of Marvel is going to be quite different. So I think we'll see them moving away from the traditional Marvel movie format. Well, they better add, because I'm tired of it.
Yeah, no, and I love it. I love it. But if I have to sit through 20 more movies of, like, the opposite of the superhero bad guy getting beat at the end, I don't know if I can do it anymore. Like, that's literally...
See, I'm willing to. I could sit through 10 more years happily of that.
And I will, but I'm crossing my fingers also that there's a slight possibility of like Black Widow's coming out, and maybe that's the first chance for them, yes, to make a good female superhero movie, but maybe it's not structured the exact same, like, like Winter Soldier or even Captain Marvel. It feels different and unique, and kind of, even filmography shot differently than a typical superhero movie. Gilbert, what would you need to see in trailer 2 to get you on board with this Joker movie? What's missing from it?
Honestly, dude, I don't know. There's really, like, I've said it before, I'd like to see at least some kind of mention of Batman or something, like Bruce Wayne, or if you want to show me like a news article or something like that of, like, the Waynes being shot or something, I would be more than happy with that.
So I've heard two things. It looks like the little boy is Bruce Wayne, or at least that's what people are saying. The one that he's, like, sticking his gross fingers in his mouth. Whatever that whole smiling thing is about. And then also the I believe also somebody I think said Thomas Wayne is in the trailer as well. So maybe we're getting some stuff.
So I don't know. I'd like that, and then maybe not Joaquin Phoenix. Maybe have someone have a different actor.
How angry would you be, Gilbert, if it turned out to be Joker who killed Bruce Wayne's parents in this film?
I don't know. I'm conflicted about that, because I liked the original Jack Nicholson Batman, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson. I actually kind of liked that little twist in that movie, but honestly, I don't know if they're gonna be like, oh well, he was in the Joker costume and he shot his parents and walked up to him and then told him, oh, smile, kid, or something like that. I'm like, I'm not gonna be very happy.
I agree with you.
Okay. What if this was set in the Andromeda Galaxy?
Oh, for God's sake.
What would you say if BioWare did the special effects for this movie? Would you be on board then? I also heard the writers, the dialogue writers wrote all the dialogue for this movie too, so...
Yeah, it's the first ever movie that's going to have dialogue trees.
Yeah.
The entire theatre has to vote on what is going to be said next.
Yeah, there's going to be like
really cool.
a companion app. Yeah.
You know what's funny is I would totally watch a movie like that.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah.
5 years from now, we're so famous. Okay. I wanna. Yeah. So okay. I totally understand, Gilbert. Hopefully, they'll give you what you want.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to take a step back real quick. I'm willing to admit that I'm totally biased on this one, because like I am one of those diehard Batman fans that's like, no, Batman could beat everyone, and here's why. I'm one of those guys. So I'm very, very critical about when anyone comes out with anything Batman or Joker or anything like that related. I'm super critical of it.
Gotcha. See, I love these characters too, but I think I'm the dumb fan that likes them. I'm the kid at Hot Topic that's just buying all the jackets. Real quick, I just wanted to mention a news. I talked about that. We said we were going to talk about this real quick in the show, but it sounds like all the Suicide Squad members are coming back. Captain Boomerang, we have Rick Flag coming back apparently. We have Amanda Waller coming back, thank God. And then also am I missing somebody? I feel like one more dude thinks they're in the Suicide Squad. So either these people haven't got the memo yet, and they're gonna be really sad when the trailer comes out, or this whole like reboot thing it's more of a soft reboot, kind of like a G.I. Joe retaliation type deal. And I don't know if that's like a super super deep cut for some of you all here, but I'm gonna shoot it off to Machinima Man. Take it away with your thoughts on the DC universe and the continuity and what you think's going on with Suicide Squad.
I don't know what they're gonna do, but it needs to be good for DC's sake, I think.
I'm assuming that like they're gonna bring back, you know, the main core Harley, you know, Amanda, Rick Flag, and Boomerang, so you kind of remember, have the Suicide Squad like, oh yeah, it's the Suicide Squad, but everybody else is gonna be new, I think, and everything else is gonna be new.
Yeah, Amanda, I'm glad they're bringing back.
I like her.
Captain Boomerang. Rick Flag, he was just so cringe.
I don't like him.
He was like the Duke Nukem of DC films. Just, you know, your typical blonde-haired superhero bro. No, get rid of him.
It is funny that you said, well, it's not funny that you said Boomerang, but do you have any thought, like, Captain Boomerang seems such a perfect character for James Gunn. It almost seems like it was written for James Gunn.
Yes.
So, like, are you excited to see what he can do with that?
Yes, definitely. Captain Boomerang was definitely one of the better parts of the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I liked him a lot too. He's funny. He didn't do his job very well, breaking into.
None of them did. None of them did, except for Will Smith.
But enjoyment-wise, yeah, I liked the character. He was funny and enjoyable to watch. Gilbs, what are your thoughts on the DC cinematic universe? So we're hearing conflicting rumors now. Where do you think they're going to do?
I don't know.
One week we talk one way, 1 week we talk this way.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of hoping that with the news that like Rick Flag or you know, Captain Boomerang and all that might be coming back, I'm kind of happy about that because honestly, I thought that Rick Flag was actually one of the cooler characters, as Mark said. Hey, dude, screw you. He was awesome.
Okay, I love it.
You're just saying that to spite me, aren't you, Gilbert? You don't really like Rick Flag, do you?
No, I do. I think he's cool. I'm serious.
You didn't like Jurassic Park 3, but you like Rick.
I really want to see now what like a perfect superhero movie for Gilbert would be. Harrison, what are your thoughts on this? Are you stoked that we're kind of sticking with this DC universe? I'm really digging. Yeah, we dug Aquaman. I dug Shazam. It's on the right track. I accept Justice League now after I rewatched it. I'm ready for Suicide Squad 2. I'm okay with this universe continuing. It seems like it's doing a good job, and I would like them to just continue and try. What are your thoughts?
I kind of don't. I want them to sort of cut off a chunk of the universe. So anything that has that stank of Zack Snyder on it could just be put over there.
And I totally agree with you.
And frankly, I'm going to count Suicide Squad in there because I think the movies that I've liked are the ones that feel like the goofy comic books they come from. Because look,
the ones I didn't think I was gonna like. I nowhere wanted Aquaman to be my favorite DC Universe movie, and it currently is number one with Shazam falling second. Another one I didn't. He's not one of my favorite characters. I like the guy. I mean, I've always liked him in video games and stuff, but. Who gives a shit about Shazam? And now I love him. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I think that's it. Because I think and my two favorite DC ones are the same, but they're the other way around. Shazam's my favorite. Aquaman's my second favorite. I think because the pair of them are both unashamedly goofy. You know, like Aquaman is at its best when it's underwater and stupid stuff is happening. You know, when there are people riding dinosaurs and sharks and stuff going around and mermen are hanging out, that's really fun. You know, Shazam is great because it's a kid who has superpowers and he loves it. Whereas Suicide Squad was not the worst of the sort of Snyder-style DC movies, but it wasn't really anything. It didn't hit the mark for me. It was still too serious and dark. So if they're going to do it,
Frankenstein also to the point where they tried to be funny too. You know, where they tried to almost in like reshoots and post production try to turn it the other direction. And I think that's where everybody really agrees where Suicide Squad takes the big dump. It didn't know it wasn't serious. It tried to be stupid and goofy, and it just didn't.
No. Do you know what they would do in a Suicide Squad? That make Captain Boomerang, get a different actor. I don't mind. Do whatever. Make Captain Boomerang the main character. Make someone as goofy and stupid as Captain Boomerang be the hero. You know, like I want it to be like Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell in Big Trouble in Little China is rubbish. He's a useless character. He sucks at everything he does, but he's awesome. That's the movie I want to see. Just take some DC characters and put them into Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I even, I know this is going to sound totally stupid, but in the hands of James Gunn, I want to see Condiment King, yo. I want to see Condiment King out there just, being in a Suicide Squad movie. And you could totally blow him up, and that's fine. But I want to see stuff like that. It could totally work in this new DC universe, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you just made a Suicide Squad of all of Batman's worst villains, that would be brilliant. I will happily watch, Suicide Squad that's Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, Condiment King. There's somebody else. Isn't there the Pink Leopard or something? That's really stupid.
Calendar Man.
Yes,
yeah,
Calendar.
There you go.
Oh my God, yes.
And the jokes, it would just be amazing. We're going to move on. Any last thoughts on the DC universe, guys? So I'm on board because I think they're doing good now. I think that they're kind of... I heard the director of Shazam, they asked him, they said, how is Shazam a part of the DC universe? And are you guys sticking with that? And he said, yeah. He said what we figured out was that each movie doesn't need to be dark and gritty. Batman, that's his tone. His movie can be dark and gritty. Shazam is fun and happy. His movie can be fun and happy. Aquaman's fantastical. That can, each movie will have its own tone that's fitting for its proper, thing. And I think now that they've understood that, and now that they don't have to make every single, I feel like there's an alternate universe where they wanted to make a dark, gritty Aquaman movie, and that would have been garbage. And I'm so happy with what we got instead, So I have a positive outlook. What are your guys' thoughts on the DC universe, starting with Gilbs, and this is our final thoughts on DC.
I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen him, since there's been a DC movie that I was actually excited for. And I mean, I'll probably go see or Shazam since you guys are giving it such great reviews. But yeah, I don't care about Aquaman. I don't particularly care about Titans or Doom Patrol or any of that.
What about that Joker, by the way? I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the Gotham Joker, yo.
Oh,
can you please get a picture of that up there?
I mean, at least it keeps with the right origin story, And I have watched
Batman in it.
No Batman showing up. That's the
I'm conflicted. I'm very conflicted on Gotham because on the one hand,
exactly what you asked for now, Gilbert. You get your Joker and you get your Batman showing up.
I know, but it's so freaking early. I'm like he's like 14, dude. He shouldn't be Batman yet. But yet he is Batman. I'm conflicted. I'm truly.
There's going to be a little bit of a time jump, so I'm sorry. Hopefully they'll make him look older and stuff. But,
dude, they already went through the whole Ra's al Ghul storyline and killed him off and everything. I'm like, how? I admit, I like the show and I've watched the entire series, but I am very conflicted on whether or not it's a truly good Batman story.
Gotcha. You're a confusing person, Gilbert.
I know. I'm weird. It's like peeling an onion with me, isn't it?
And
you
then
could
the
say
onion.
He's an enigma. an Edward enigma.
Machinima Man, what are your final thoughts on the DC universe? Are you stoked for more?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see Shazam now after your very good reviews. So hopefully, if another horror film doesn't come out this week, I'll get to see Shazam.
Right on, sir. And then we'll get to hear your late review next week. Right on.
Yes.
And then, Harrison, so I'll ask you a bit of a different question, because it seems like our opinions kind of on the same wavelength as, DC's heading in a good direction. So I'll ask you this. Would you like to see another attempt at Justice League eventually way down the line?
Do you know what? Yes. But what I'd like them to do is don't bother with, having movies to set it up and it'll be... Do it like Enter the Spider-Verse. Just go straight into it. Just do it like, okay, here's a movie, Justice League already exists, go. Fill it with everyone. Have Plastic Man in there.
Now, would you be okay with like actors that have already shown up? Aquaman's there, but no setup to the movie. But would you be okay with him just being there, kind of, or?
Yeah, probably. Like if you want to bring back Jason Momoa, as Aquaman for it, I'd be totally happy because I think he's a really good Aquaman. But yeah.
Shazam. You want to see Shazam show up on the Justice League? I think he would be amazing to see.
Yeah, I feel like Shazam and the Flash would be cool to hang out with. I feel them as a pair would be quite fun. Do you know what I want DC to do? And I'm very sorry to all the DC fans out there. One of the reasons I like Shazam is that it's set in Philadelphia, in a real place that doesn't have the awful DC names. DC has
Central
the worst
City.
names for cities. I hate it.
Starling City.
I hate so much when they're like, yes, I just moved
Midway
to
City.
Bloodhaven. Oh, did you get a house in Bloodhaven? Yes, I did. There's a really good school district in Bloodhaven.
Death Elementary.
Now I have to commute to Midway City. It is like, what the hell? Yeah, no, I absolutely dug that this was in Philadelphia too, because there was some fake city that they used to take place in. I was hearing, because I went back and listened to some people talk about Shazam so I can understand who Mr. Worm is. And apparently Shazam originally, until the New 52 came around, this was largely based off the New 52 apparently, so not everything from that I guess was horrible. But I can't remember if somebody wants to look it up for me, the original city Shazam occupied. But I'm going to move on. It's great hearing from all y'all and all your opinions. I want to hear down in the comments what you guys think of the DC Universe. I'm stoked. I want more. It took them a while. It's about damn time, but let's keep it going. But let's move on to our quiz question. Quiz question 36 for the Fulcrum Report. We have the Joker movie coming out. So give me a villain movie without its central superhero. We're going to start first with the Gilbs. Go for it, Gilbs.
Okay, so I'm thinking it's going to be a Lex Luthor movie, and I think that'd be one of the coolest things ever is to have a movie without Superman in it. It's like I know I literally just went off of giving crap about there not being a Batman in the Joker movie, but I think it'd be a lot better if we just saw Lex Luthor origin story. We get to see him build his way up to being the head of LexCorp. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what's Lex? Okay, so pitch me the movie. What's Lex Luthor's motivation?
Well, he wants to be the top dog. Like he wants to be the most powerful man in the world. And he decides to himself, I want it to start off as him as a young age. Like I want to see little child Lex, basically plot to kill his parents. Like I want to see some Game of Thrones, House of Cards kind of show where he's he starts off as a little asshole child, and then builds his way up to being the head of a major corporation. And he screws people over. He backstabs, and I want it to be like one of those kind of movies.
All right, now we gotta sell some merchandise. I mean, we gotta make those bucks. So, how are we tying the rest of the DC universe? I mean, what alien is Lex Luthor gonna fight?
What do you mean, alien? No, there's no aliens. No, dude, this is before Superman. So
it's strictly a down to earth Lex.
Yeah,
Luthor
if he's doing anything, it's gonna be against other villains. It's gonna be he's gonna be hiring villains to do his bidding, and basically be attacking other villains. I want to see I want to see Copperhead. I want to see freaking Solomon Grundy. So I want to see people who are in the DC universe, but none of the actual heroes.
Okay, cool. Because I'm down with Solomon Grundy. Maybe what's that? Metallo, maybe.
See, but I mean that's a little much because in my idea, it is before the meteor hits Earth. I want the ending.
No, I know,
of it.
And you could go backwards and rewrite it. So,
yeah. I want the ending of this movie to be him looking out of he finally gets to being the CEO of LexCorp. He has this giant tall building, and I want him to look out in the distance, and there's a meteor falling to Earth.
All right. Cool. And the title of the movie?
We'll call it. Well, I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna be simple. I'm gonna call it Doom.
Okay, interesting. I I wasn't hoping for, but I was afraid I would hear Lex.
Luther, the movie. No.
Yeah, Luther. Cool. Thank you, Gilbert. That's actually an interesting idea. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot it over to Machinima Man. Give me your villain-centric movie without its core superhero. Go for it.
Okay, I was really torn. Are we going for bad film or good film?
Go for bad. I always love the bad.
Whichever one's better.
Yeah.
Okay, because if it was good, I was gonna say Red Skull in a World War II movie, because I love World War II movies.
Okay.
But bad, I'm gonna have to go with Doctor Doom.
Oh Lord!
Because the Fantastic Four has such a bad history now. Like, the last thing anyone would ever want is a Fantastic Four movie without the Fantastic Four in it and just Doctor Doom. But the same Doctor Doom from the last film. So it's
Go for
it's
it.
just him just being really over the top, cringy, evil, and the whole film is just cringe. There's people walking out of the movies. There's just one really dedicated Fantastic Four fan left, sat right at the very front.
And are they crying or are they enjoying the hell out of it?
They're trying really, really hard to enjoy it because they're such a fan of Doctor Doom, but not even this film can save them.
What's the obligatory origin for Doctor Doom's mask that we get and his green cloak?
Okay, so he's a really poor guy, and he's desperate to be the most evil man in the world. So he goes to his cupboard in the kitchen and gets some tinfoil, and he makes a silver tinfoil mask, and he takes his grandma's green curtains and uses that as a cape.
So this is essentially like seeing like the Joker's concept makeup, basically, like his pre-Joker look.
Yeah, he's just got a mask made of tinfoil with little eyes cut out of it.
He's Butters from South Park.
Is this set during? I was gonna say, is this set during like Halloween, and he's like a young Doom little boy murdering trick-or-treaters or something?
Yeah, why not? And he doesn't actually have the powers of electricity. He just rubs his feet really hard on the carpet and then touches people.
Got you again.
Yeah.
And the neighbor.
I wish I'd have gone with the Red Skull movie now, because I excited myself for that.
So, final questions. What's the end credit scene? So the poor one fan, he sat through the whole movie reluctantly, and now he made it through the 6 minutes of credits. What happens?
Okay, so Doctor Doom gets arrested, and you know when they make prisoners like hit rocks with pickaxes for just like hours? He hits one rock and it turns out to be sentient, and it's actually the Thing. The Doctor Doom hits the Thing with a pickaxe, and the rock rolls over and it's clobbering time.
Black screen.
Black screen.
Oh no, dude,
And
he hits a rock. It's like, hi, I'm Korg.
Hey,
Hi, my name's Korg. I'm made of rocks.
what's going on, man?
This is my rebellion.
What's going on, man?
And that's my friend Meek.
This is my rebellion,
We're
my
gonna
friend.
get some flyers printed.
Yeah, I'm not dangerous for anybody. Let's go, you made of scissors. It's a rock, paper, scissors joke there for you. All right.
I love it. We have to have a Korg. We have to have a Korg question next week or something.
Yeah. My name's Cool.
Cool. Here, real quick, guys. I'm gonna pause this real quick. I need to start a new recording real fast. Cool. So thank you, Machinima Man. Oh, and what's the name of your Doctor Doom movie? And you can't copy Gilbert.
I was gonna say Doom 2 because it's a follow-on from Gilbert's.
Oh, we're finally getting that Marvel versus DC universe we've been.
Yes, the studios decided to put their differences apart and come together as one. So it's now the DCEU MCU, and yeah, Doom 2 is a sequel to Gilbert's film.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
God.
All right. And then go for it, Harrison. Take it away. What's your supervillain movie without the superhero?
Okay, my supervillain movie without the superhero is Magneto. And it is just a simple revenge story. It's basically like the first 10 minutes of First Class, but that's the entire movie. So
I really dug that, by the way.
Damn, dude, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's it's just like he. I think I also just for the hell of it, because I like it, do you remember there was a part in X-Men Evolution, the old cartoon there, where it shows that Eric Lansher was broken out of a concentration camp by Captain America? Because I always love that detail, so I might just keep that in there.
That's really neat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't even say openly that it's Magneto, except, well, like Captain America doesn't know, but it's that, was it Germans throw grenades at Captain America, and he's carrying the child Magneto, and the child Magneto, like, uses his powers to whip the grenades away from them, which is really cool. So yeah, it's just Magneto is in a concentration camp, because we know that's part of his origin. And then, we see him be liberated and he escapes, but his family have died, and so he then spends his time in an orphanage and grows up, and in a kind of Kill Bill-style revenge movie, just, has a list of people he's tracking down.
That would be really cool. I like that bit in, was it the last X-Men film where he goes to that bar?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And he
takes the knife out and does some awesomeness.
Yeah, I would like to see more of that.
Yeah, I always dig those moments where it's just regular, a-holes just messing with Magneto, and Yep. Okay, and then just for fun, how does he get his helmet?
Well, he doesn't. That's the thing, because of course Magneto does not develop the helmet until he has met Charles Xavier, and so because none of Charles Xavier will not be in this movie at all.
And the name of your movie, sir? And it has to be one word.
It has to be one word. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Homo superior.
Okay. Man, you went all serious this week, and you get the point.
Ooh, yeah.
Well played, Harrison.
Damn you, Harrison.
Normally, I don't go for the ones that are that take you, but he even knocked the title out of the park. Good job. Cool. So, like I said, Gilbert, excellent choice. Actually, you made when you said Lex Luthor movie, I'm like groan, but then you made it sound cool. So excellent work. And then Doctor Doom, a Halloween type Carrie movie. I'm down for that too. So, but y'all did an excellent job. I can't wait to hear from y'all next week, and I can't wait to see. Let's see, what date is it? Oh. Next week's gonna be our Star Wars celebration episode, yo.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I can't wait. So Friday we're gonna get the Force Awakens panel and all that. I think on Saturday we're gonna get another panel for some shows. I think maybe The Mandalorian, and then we are going to also, I think on Sunday, the day of the filming, and I think that the event will be before the podcast, so hopefully we'll get to talk about the Jedi Fallen Order and stuff. So next week's gonna be super, super awesome. I'm stoked. I can't wait. I just excited myself. But let's close it out. Thank you, Gilbert, so much for being on the show. It's always awesome having you, sir. Any plugs or anything, sir?
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm currently working on the Age Republic special issue, so I'm working on that as we speak, so be looking out for it somewhere, maybe a year down the line, I don't know.
Cool, right on. Yeah, this is going to be super rad. Gilbert, maybe if you want to give everybody a tease with your rad logo you made, I think that would be awesome. Gilbert is going all out on this, and just for all y'all who haven't checked out our Voiced Up comics, you probably actually found our show through our Voiced Up comics. But yeah, we're doing some really stuff, and me and Gilbert are huge fans of the Star Wars series, and we go real deep with the music. We even have meetings afterwards where we're like, okay, you know this song? Then you put this here, and we totally talk it out. So we're hardcore Star Wars fans. So everybody go, please check it out. Anything else, Gilbs?
No, I believe that's it. Well, actually, yeah, I'm also working on the issue 7 of the main issue, or the main series, so also if you three want to get your, well, I think Harrison, you already did, but if you two want to get your lines in on that one.
I will right after this show.
But yeah, other than that, that's it for me.
Cool. Thank you so much, Gilbert.
Yep, absolutely.
Right on. Cool. Machinima Man, it is always a pleasure having you on, sir. Any plugs this week?
No plugs, unfortunately. I did forget about that, Gilbert. I'm sorry. I will get that done for you this week. Other than an apology to Gilbert, I have nothing to plug.
Cool.
Just thank you for having me.
Right on, right on. And Harrison, thank you so much for being on the show. Sorry, everybody, we got to hear a little too much from Sebastian and Harrison this week, but we were the only ones that saw Shazam. So everybody, please go check out the movie. It's excellent. But thank you so much, Harrison, for being on. Any plugs this week, sir?
Yes, I don't think I plugged this last time. I was in a video based on Fire Emblem The Binding Blades, where we are acting out the critical hit lines of multiple characters, and I get to play Marcus, and it was really awesome, and I'm really glad to have been in that video. And please do go check it out.
Oh, cool. What channel can we find that on?
You can find that on, I believe the channel is called Fishy Emblem, and the video is Cypher Crits Fire Emblem Binding Blade Part 1.
Right on, right on. And you, for one last time, you were which character?
I was Marcus.
Marcus. Okay, everybody go check out Marcus down in the description below. We're going to have that linked. It's going to be super rad. But
Will do.
Thank you so much, sir, for being on. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Right on, right on. And like I said, I'm Sebastian, your host. If you would like to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, that would be awesome. You can like this video. Hit the little bell notification so you know when it comes out or when any of our other dubs come out. And then also, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to our channel. We love keeping you guys around and making new friends. It makes us all really happy. I can assure you when we see our views go up on this channel. So, and comment below. We love talking with you guys. Even if you guys have some mean stuff to say about us, we still like joking with you guys down there. One day I actually had like a full conversation because I don't think the guy knew that I was the guy on the show.
Is that the guy that called us tools?
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, I know, what a bunch of morons, huh? And like we started a conversation.
Because I rhymed it with April Fools, and I was quite proud of myself.
But yeah, no, we love talking with you down there, even if you're mean to us. So thank you guys. But cool. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Fulcrum Report 36. This has been Sebastian. I am winded and out.
There you go.
And that was Marshall Machinima Man, everybody. Thank you, Machinima Man.
Thank you.
Cool.